So I'm very excited about this new opportunity to have a different place at the table and to perhaps raise not just tribal citizens' voices, but all of the citizens throughout the United States in terms of how Treasury can make a difference in everyone's lives and how we might think about policy at the very local level and how it impacts our citizens of the United States. When I was installed as chief, I said, well, we follow in the footsteps on the path of life for those leaders that were so important to us, but it's our job to leave footprints on the path for those who come behind us so that they may find their way easily. We want to make sure that all of our tribal citizens have the best opportunities to not only walk with a foot in both worlds, as you've heard me say, but also to ensure that they honor the culture, the history, the lands that we come from, and that they pass it on to those next generations too, because it truly is unique to be one of the first peoples of this United States and to be indigenous to these lands. And we have a connection to these lands that I think is unparalleled and one that is very special. I think that the Biden-Harris administration has worked hard to hear our voices. It has been a bit of a struggle sometimes along the way, but with the trust and treaty obligations that the United States has towards tribes, it's important that our voices be heard and that we are not just consulted about policies, but that we get to the point of agreement around how policies are best designed and implemented so that tribes have an equal seat at the table. I do think that tribes are stronger than ever before, and I do believe that this administration has made a huge commitment to understand, not just listen to what we have to say, but to really understand how policies impact tribal nations and how they can be designed in a way that allow tribal nations the sovereignty to implement those policies in a way that is self-determining and best serving their tribal people. I'm very hopeful that within Treasury, we can begin to look at those programs and policies administratively as well as legislatively that will allow tribes to have very healthy economic development in their communities. Tribes cannot offer tax incentives on their reservations right now because of the way states and local municipalities would tax economic development on tribal lands. So that's a very simple example of how we would look at things differently. Another thing is to be able to offer tax exempt bonds for things like, concert halls and golf courses. Municipalities can do that. Tribes have not been able to do that. When tribes succeed, everyone succeeds. And I think that people should not only be cognizant of that, but they should celebrate that and not be fearful about that and help us, establish those kinds of policies that will help all of us at the end of the day. What's most exciting to me about this role is to be part of senior leadership at Treasury and to be able to understand how we can affect change. So I think it's too new for me to say I have, these 5 top priorities. Obviously, the office is one, but I think I will listen first and then develop a strategic plan going forward.